Mike, I'm so disorganized. I don't know what to do with my life. What can I do? What can I do?
No, it sounds like you are way over your head with work and school and studying, and it sounds like you need to get your stuff in order.
I need to get organized.
Yeah.
I guess that's something we need to do in our life article this month. Mm-hmm. It is St. Stephan's Tag. It is the day after Christmas. Good King Wenceslas looked out on the Feast of Stephen. We are Feast of Stephening, and, well, that has absolutely nothing to do with today's article, but I have to say it anyway. Come on.
Okay, it's also known as Boxing Day.
It is also Boxing Day for those of you in England, right?
In Canada?
Oh, also as well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, all of these things are spinning my head around. I bet they're spinning yours around, too, so maybe we need to get organized or stay organized. How can we do that? Well, we can find some note-taking techniques, and that's what we're going to be working on over the next couple of days. There's a couple of note-taking techniques that might help you find your way in a period of a lot of stress or when you have to deal with 1,000 details, as we sometimes have to. I don't know about you. I get to those periods, and what I tend to do is make a list. My list helps me. Maybe our note-taking techniques will help me even more.
Absolutely. I think this is really useful. I think they've also shown that if you're a student, typing your notes on a laptop is fine, and you might be able to type a little bit faster than you write. But I think it's been proven by many studies that writing down things with a pen on paper actually makes you remember them better. So maybe this is enough information in our article today and tomorrow to also encourage people to revise how they take notes. We're going to give you lots of good tips on the most efficient way to do it. And I would say if you do it with pen and paper, if you do it by hand, you may find that results along with the organization, the results of taking notes in that way will really benefit you and make your marks much higher and your tests much easier.
Let's get to it right now. Before we get started with the paragraphs, let's listen to the whole thing one time.
Feeling overwhelmed with assignments, tasks, and to-do lists? Struggling to make sense of your class notes? Don't worry, we've got your back. In this article, we'll explore 2 awesome note-taking methods that'll keep you organized and boost your learning. Let's check out bullet journaling and Cornell notes. Ryder Carroll, the creator of the bullet journal method, had struggled with attention deficit disorder since childhood. To overcome procrastination, he developed a system of managing all his tasks in a single notebook. This technique, known as bullet journaling, emphasizes handwriting as its core feature. By writing things down, you can organize your thoughts without electronic distractions. The act of writing helps to slow down the thought process, allowing for a more systematic approach to task management. To start bullet journaling, grab a blank notebook. Create an index at the front to help you locate information quickly. The magic of this system lies in using short sentences or phrases, called bullet points, to write down tasks, events, and notes. You'll use different symbols to show the nature of each item. For example, a dot might represent a task, a circle an event, and a dash a note. As you go, you'll cross off completed tasks and move unfinished ones to the next day or months. Bullet journaling is a versatile system that keeps tasks, events, and random thoughts organized in one place. It helps you concentrate on what's really important and encourages reflection on your goals and habits. The method is ideal for anyone who likes to stay organized but wants a more personalized system than a traditional planner. It's especially great if you're creative and enjoy designing your own layouts. All right, so let's get into our article. Stay organized with these note-taking techniques. When we see a title sort of like that, almost like it's an order, it's telling us what to do. No, it's probably just one of those advice articles, that you can read every once in a while that gives you tips and tricks and methods and strategies to make your life better, whatever it might be, becoming healthier, eating better, getting more exercise, or having a very, very organized notebook or whatever you're doing to keep track of all the important things you need to remember, know, and do. So let's look at the article. It begins with a couple of questions to elicit or to try to draw out a response or to ask us questions to get us to think. And it also kind of sounds like one of those television commercials. Feeling overwhelmed with assignments, tasks, and to-do lists? Struggling to make sense of your class notes?
Good job.
Don't worry, we've got your back. Just buy this new product for $49.95.
$1,000.
And we will solve all your problems. Well, we're not promising that much, but the good news is there is no price. At the end of this, there's just good advice. But yeah, maybe you would answer any of these questions in the positive way by saying yes. Feeling overwhelmed with assignments, tasks, and to-do lists? Yes, I'm drowning in work.
Help me.
And if you're overwhelmed with something, well, yeah, it's kind of like there's too much and you can't handle all of it. If you go to the beach and a big wave comes along and knocks you off your feet, and you end up kind of sliding along the bottom of the beach, getting sand down your shorts, well, then you were overwhelmed by that wave, that wall of water. It knocked you off your feet, and it was kind of too much for your strength to fight against. So you can be physically overwhelmed by something. If you've been working hard and only got 2 hours sleep, you could also say, I'm physically overwhelmed. I got to lie down. I can't do any more work. Or it could be more of an emotional feeling of being overwhelmed. If you suddenly get a lot of news that you didn't expect, either good news, you won the lottery and your life will never be the same. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I got to make all these decisions and everyone wants to be my best friend.
Oh, no.
You're being overwhelmed. Or it could be a terrible thing. You know, if you lose your job and your mom dies and your dog dies on the same day, and it just leads to an emotional breakdown. You were overwhelmed. You're dealing with things, forces, events, emotions that are just too much for you. You can't handle the volume or the speed that they're coming in, and you're just kind of saying, stop. I need to pause. I can't handle all this. I'm being overwhelmed. So maybe you're overwhelmed. You have too many assignments, too many tasks, too many to-do lists, too many important things to do. Or maybe you're struggling to make sense of your class notes. Maybe you did take notes in class last week, and now when you pull them out and look at them, you go, what the hell does this mean?
What did my doctor tell me to buy?
Exactly. Why has a chicken gone walking across this paper in colorful pen and colorful ink colors? Did I write this? What was I thinking? So that kind of thing. If you struggle to make sense of something, it basically means you find it very hard to understand. Well, don't worry. We've got your back. That doesn't mean we're standing right behind you. That would be creepy. That means that we're here to help you. We're here to support you. We are going to be your best friend and ally. And how are we going to do that? Well, in this article, we'll explore or we'll look at carefully 2 awesome or great or incredible or amazing note-taking methods or ways of taking notes that keep you organized and boost your learning so you will always understand your notes and you will definitely be getting better grades. What are those 2 methods?
Well, let's check out bullet journaling and Cornell notes.
Great. Never heard of either.
But as you mentioned, the whole kind of advertising feel, the end of this paragraph has an exclamation point. So you know you're supposed to go up with it. And you're supposed to get excited about it.
Okay, Cornell notes.
It's hard to get excited about something that's going to mean you have to write more notes, but sometimes you really need to.
Especially since I have no idea what you're talking about.
And a lot of times people, when they're looking to get better with a problem that they have, they look for solutions. So people who've had some sort of a physical ailment in their life, they might move on to become doctors and help other people with similar physical ailments. Here we have writer Carol, who is the creator of the bullet journal method, and he had struggled with attention deficit disorder since childhood. So this fellow right here had a problem. He was struggling. What was he struggling with? Attention deficit disorder, ADD. You also have ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. But ADD is one that a lot of people talk about. And that's where, well, you're kind of sitting there and you're looking at butterflies and you're looking at stars and you're looking at a caterpillar crawling on the ground. And instead, you're supposed to be, figuring out what your teacher's saying and following along and being ready to answer a question when she calls out your name. But you have a deficit there. You're lacking in something. And the thing you're lacking in is attention, the ability to concentrate on focus and give attention to somebody. You are lacking in that. You have a deficit at it. You are at a minus there. And because of that, you have a disorder. And that disorder means that things are, they're not quite normal. It's not a disease, but it's a disorder. It's a problem that you have. And he had that. And he said, well, to overcome procrastination, he needed to do something. He developed a system of managing all his tasks in a single notebook. So this was one man's method to deal with his problems of focusing and his problem of procrastination. I love this word. It's actually a word I live by. I'm a great procrastinator. I like to procrastinate, as the verb goes. It's to put off doing something until the last minute. I'm really good at it, but then I tend to do everything, at that last minute and get it done. It's not a very good habit to have because it tends to involve a lot of stress in those last minute moments. But he developed this method to overcome his procrastination, and he did it all with a single notebook. This technique, known as bullet journaling, it focuses on and stresses handwriting as its core feature. As you were mentioning, when you write something down, it tends to bring it better into your brain. So that's what he is focusing on here. It is the core feature, the fundamental feature, the main feature. A lot of times, if you haven't been to the gym for a while, instead of going in and lifting massive amounts of weight, your trainer or people around you will tell you, focus on your core. That's your core muscles. That will allow you to develop all your other muscles later with stability. But if you don't focus on your core muscles, those main muscles, those basic muscles that help your body kind of stay in good form, then you're going to probably, one, either hurt yourself or to malalign yourself. You're going to put yourself in a weird position and kind of tweak something in your body. So yeah, here you're going to focus on your handwriting. And why?
Well, exactly why. That's a very good question. It says the act of writing helps to slow down the thought process, allowing for a more systematic approach to task management. So yes, it might take a little bit more thinking when you're taking these notes in class. If you're a fast typer, you can basically just type down what the professor is saying and do the thinking about it later. But when you write, you do write a bit more slowly, so you have to slow down and you have to think a bit more carefully. But that allows for a more systematic approach to task management, okay? So if you're slowing down, again, you're taking more time maybe to do something, but you're also allowing for this systematic approach. Something that is systematic is sort of organized and planned out. You're not doing it in a random way. You're not doing it in kind of an emotional way. Well, I just feel like doing it this way. You're doing it in a way that's sort of pre-planned and pre-thought out and organized to be the most efficient or the most effective or something like that. A lot of people, if they travel frequently, for example, they might have a systematic approach to packing. I pack my sleeping clothes and then my daytime clothes and then my cold weather clothes. And the last thing I pack is my wash bag with my toothpaste and toothbrush and all that stuff. And I always kind of do it in that way so that I don't forget things, so I stay organized. It might just make more sense, to put your wash bag in last because you'll brush your teeth before you leave your home. But you're doing it in a very organized way, either through a system. We can see, of course, that word there, a system that someone has created for you, like a company might have a systematic approach to make sure workers do the job correctly and don't miss any steps, or it might just be a system that you've developed and decided on over your life, over your experience, and it might just fit what you do, but it's done in an organized way, not kind of randomly in a haphazard kind of way.
Right, and so here we're going to take a tiny little break, and then we'll follow on with the rest of our article about bullet journaling.
Hello everyone, 我是派老师。今天讲解的是12月26号 Unit 14 Stay organized with these note-taking techniques Day 1。这个单元所介绍的是2套笔记方法。大家有没有想要当学霸的愿望？如果想让自己学习、生活、工作更有条理、更有效率，那就值得好好学习课文介绍的2套笔记方法。一个是子弹笔记法，另外一个呢是康奈尔笔记法。好，那我们一起来看学习重点吧。请同学看到第一段的第一个句子，这里呢其实是个问句 ，feeling overwhelmed with assignments, tasks and to-do lists。好，所以请同学先把 overwhelmed with 画起来。其实原本这个 overwhelm 当动词的时候呢，它意思就是呢，把什么东西埋起来或淹没。那当然，这里是用被动语态。 所以这里在问说，你有没有觉得说啊，功课太多了，工作太多了，需要做的事情太多了，觉得你喘不过气？好，那所以这个 overwhelm 请画起来。那再来，请看到下面的这个 make sense of。make sense of 其实呢，这里我们可以把它解读成理解。那你是不是有什么困难 ？struggle to 其实就是这件事情你做起来有点困难。那你是不是试图很努力的想要去理解，到底自己课堂上记的笔记在记些什么？好，那再来我们看到第二个句子 ，Don't worry, we've got your back。什么是 we've got your back？ 其实呢，就是要表示呢，我们挺你，那我们会协助你。好，这句话呢，通常你要对某人表示支持，要保护什么人的时候，你可以这样讲 ，we've got your back。那在这里，等于是作者呢，这篇文章的作者想要告诉我们，他会协助我们，因为透过这些笔记的方法，我们会变得更有条理。这些 these methods will keep us organized， 会让我们更有条理。那也会呢，让我们学习更有效率。They will boost our learning。好，再来我们看到第二段。那第二段呢，先介绍的是第一种的笔记方法，那也就是我们称的子弹笔记法。好，那这个发明人是谁呢？就是 Ryder Carroll。He has struggled with attention deficit disorder。那就表示 Ryder 呢，他小时候其实注意力不是很集中。后来呢，他发明了这一套笔记方法，他就不再呢会拖拖拉拉了，因为他想要克服拖拖拉拉 to overcome procrastination。这套笔记系统呢是他发明的。然后呢，有一点，请看到第三个句子，这一套笔记方法呢特别强调 it emphasizes handwriting， 必须要用手去记，这是一个 core feature 核心的特征。好，那为什么要这么做？后面有解释 by writing things down。 那用手记下来 you can organize your thoughts， 可以呢去整理自己的思绪，不会受到电子干扰 without electronic distractions。 好，再来我们看到第五个句子，因为你用手写，其实呢就会让我们思考呢稍微慢一点，放慢脚步 allowing for a more systematic approach。那做起来呢，其实就会比较有条理，可以去管理我们自己的工作。
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. So what do you do to start bullet journaling? Well, you start bullet journaling by grabbing a blank notebook. I can do that.You create an index at the front to help you locate information quickly. An index is kind of like your listing of what each chapter has. Here it might be page 2, it's going to be my gym times. Page 4 is going to be my meal times. Page 6 is going to be when I'm going to dedicate to my study times. And then you can look at the beginning of this index. You can look at the beginning of your notebook, which is where you'll put your index, and it'll tell you,well, this is where I can find this information, because you might be scattered in your brain a little bit and you don't know really where to look for it. A lot of times too, I think you can put the index at the back of the book to let you know where the things are in the front of the book. So it depends on how you're doing it. He wants to put his index at the front to help you locate information quickly. The magic of this system, the wonderful thing about this system, lies in using short sentences or phrases called bullet points to write down tasks, events, and notes. So yeah, I mean, it does make sense. You'd make a little dot on your paper that kind of looks like a bullet point, right? And that little note, that little dot on your paper, you put your note after it. And he says, do short little notes with it. And it'll tell you, you know, what you're going to be focusing on there. And maybe you put 5 or 6 additional tasks under that bullet point, and then you have another bullet point. It's something that if you're doing like a Word doc, it'll naturally do it for you. If you do it the first time, you might indent in on your Word doc, and you might say, ways to conquer the universe. And then you have step 1, and you might get a bullet point for step 1. And then naturally, when you go to step 2, it'll create a bullet point for you. But you're doing this for yourself. So you are putting in your bullet point, and then when you come to the next big important thing, you put in another bullet point, and then you write down your tasks, events, and notes. You'll use different symbols to show the nature of each item. So this complicates things. It's not just a bullet point. We're going to have some symbols in there too. So that means you have to get used to something. So it sounds like it has a little bit of a learning curve. And for example, a dot might represent a task, a circle, an event, and a dash, a note. Or you might like stars and hearts and flowers, which work for us ladies out there that want to add a little bit of oomph to our bullet notes, right? So you're representing your task, you're showing what you're writing about, you're circling your event, or you do a circle for an event, and this is supposed to help you find the things in your notes a lot faster. As you go, you'll cross off completed tasks. It's so much fun to make a line through a task you've completed on your list of things you need to take care of. It's one of my happiest moments. I'm like, yep, got that done, finished that one too. And move unfinished ones to the next day or month. That I don't like to do so much because unfinished means there's a level of dissatisfaction on my part.
Yeah, that's definitely a system. That's a systematic approach. And as Leah explained, if you don't like circles and lines and dots, you can use stars or triangles or flowers or hearts or whatever you want, something that works for you, just as a way of keeping things organized and knowing which tasks are more important than others. As it says, bullet journaling is a versatile system that keeps tasks, events, and random thoughts organized in one place. You can use this to keep your work organized. You can use it to keep your shopping organized. You could keep it to keep your history class organized, the things you're learning in school, or even just your family. I know a lot of families are busy with kids taking sports classes and music classes and people going into different places at different times every day. So it's very versatile. That means it's flexible, it's useful, it fits, and it would work in a lot of different ways and in a lot of different reasons. So you can use it at school, work, home, whatever. It's a very good system that can do a lot of things in a lot of different areas. It helps you concentrate on what's really important and encourages reflection on your goals and habits. Absolutely. It's organized to help you concentrate on what's really important when your brain isn't filled with what day is it today and what am I supposed to do today and what is that thing I'm supposed to bring to work and what is that thing I forgot to buy at the store yesterday. You're very sort of scattered with your mind. It's hard to concentrate. When you concentrate, you're able to focus your mind and your mental energy on a certain important task. And you're not distracted by the other things, the less important or even the unimportant things around you. If you're doing a really important job that you can't afford to make a mistake on, imagine a surgeon doing a surgery or a pilot landing an airplane during a rainstorm. These people need to concentrate on their work. They can't be talking about the baseball game last night or being annoyed by loud noises or something like that. They need to focus or concentrate on the important thing that they're doing. So this is very useful about this situation, or about this system, I should say. You won't have to remember all of these different things. You'll have everything written down so you can concentrate on the important tasks. And as you do them, as Leah was saying, as you cross those things off your list or move them to next week or whatever, it encourages reflection on your goals and habits. Often when we're so busy in our lives, it's hard for us to stop and take a moment and even sort of look in the rear view mirror and feel good about all of the things we've accomplished. We're so focused on all the things we haven't done yet, it's hard to, give ourselves a bit of credit and a pat on the back and a good job, me, for all of the things that you have done. And that's what reflection is. We could be talking about the reflection of light in a mirror that allows you to see your own picture, your own image. But also when we're talking about reflection, we could be referring to emotional reflection, looking back, remembering, and kind of processing the things that we've done or the things that have happened to us. Because as we said, life is often busy. It often feels we're moving in a forward direction all the time, but looking back occasionally and giving ourselves credit for our good job and our hard work and all that, that is a good thing. And it can build, confidence, and it can also, provide fuel for your fire to keep going forward and keep doing more stuff.
Yeah, but sometimes you need maybe to use a traditional planner, and this is one way to kind of supplant that or to replace that. The method is ideal for anyone who likes to stay organized, but wants a more personalized system than a traditional planner. Now, a planner is something that you can load up in Google Docs. It's something that you can create a template for in Word docs. It's something you can probably create an Excel file with. It's something where you can plan your days. It might have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, little boxes for the times, and you fill it in. You might go to the stationery store and buy yourself a planner that helps you organize your month or year. However, they are very traditional. A lot of times they only come in a certain format. So if you want something a little bit more individualized, well, this bullet method is something, or bullet journaling is something that helps you personalize, make it more for you as a system. It's especially great if you're creative and enjoy designing your own layouts. So if you're somebody who likes to make it look a little bit more like something that belongs to you, then you're creative. You like to add your creative energy or your creative vibe to something, and you enjoy designing your own layout. When I think of a layout, a lot of times I think about if you're working on your school newspaper, and before you can go and print that newspaper, you have to put everything in its little bit of a place and make sure it all fits and make sure it looks good when you're putting it on that piece of paper. And that's when you're doing a layout of what you're going to print in your newspaper. So if you like your own layout to your bullet journaling, well, maybe you have, a top line where you put all the important things for the week and a couple of boxes underneath that talk about, a few important memories that you don't want to forget this week in the bottom area where you put like groceries you need to buy. That might be your layout, the way you lay out your planner to kind of be your own personal thing. All right, guys. Let's take a break now. We're going to listen to our Chinese teacher one more time.
好，作者呢在第3段进一步的告诉我们说，到底这种子弹笔记法该怎么做，一步一步的引导我们。好，那请看到第2个句子 ，create an index， 所以要记住要创建一个索引 ，index 就是索引，什么目的呢？帮助我们快速的找到资讯。请同学把这个 locate 画起来。很多人都听到 location 会觉得很熟悉，就是位置。那 locate 其实呢是动词，就是帮我们找到什么东西。好，那再来就是这一套笔记方法，它其实呢会用很简短的句子。那这里呢我们通常都会就是用条列式的 bullet points 这种子弹点条列式的方式，把这些重点要任务啊、事件啊、笔记呢用条列式的记下来。那也可以呢使用不同的符号 different symbols， 那让我们呢把这些不同的事项，假设它们性质不一样，就能够区别开来。所以请看到第6个句子，这段最后一个句子，每当完成一项的时候 you cross off completed tasks， cross off 就是划掉，那这里的 completed 是过去分词，表示已完成的，就把它划掉。好，那再来呢，我们看到第4段的部分bullet journaling， 那讲的就是子弹笔记法 is a versatile system。 那这种做法呢其实是 versatile， 那相当多功能的。当我们只说一个人呢相当的 versatile， 那有可能是他扮演了很多的角色。但当形容一个物质一样东西很 versatile 的时候，表示呢它有很多不一样的功能。好，所以用这套笔记法，我们呢可以去记录不同的工作项目、不同的活动，还有呢甚至于是像我们平常的一些想法，那你可以把它整理起来。那再来我们看到第3个句子，第3个句子呢请同学特别注意到的是，这个方法对什么样的人来说是适用的？Anyone who likes to stay organized， 你想要自己的生活比较有条理 but wants a more personalized system than a traditional planner。 那想要生活有条理的话，可以用传统的日历记事本来记呀。不过这里作者就告诉我们说，你这样子的子弹笔记法是比较针对你个人的， so it's more personalized， 比较个人化的，你可以用自己适应的方式来做笔记。好，以上就是我们针对2套笔记方法的第1套所做的中文讲解。 See you next time.
So folks, if you have liked the bullet journaling, Just wait just a little bit longer because tomorrow we're going to segue over to the Cornell method, which is yet another way that you can try taking notes to make your life a little less overwhelming. For English Digest, I'm Leah.
And I'm Mike.
Take care.
Bye-bye.